Hello, I'm Barclay Judge, Director and one of the owners here at Judge Accountants. We focus on being proactive and providing one of the best advice, tax and business advice here in Penrith. Today I'm going to be talking to you about what's happening now in relation to COVID assistance from the state and federal parliament. Turning to ourselves to New South Wales, which is probably providing the most stimulus out there to business owners at the moment, is the New South Wales JobSaver. Now that's actually going to, applications close for that on the 18th of October, so very soon. It is going to continue running until the end of November. The federal government are pulling their stimulus payments out of the JobSaver program, which means that New South Wales will be the sole funder of that program. So what we will see will be a taper off of JobSaver stimulus payments to businesses that are eligible, and that scheme will wrap up on the 30th of November. Furthermore, we've got, as part of the JobSaver requirement, there is a requirement that the annual turnover of the business is more than $75,000. So for those businesses that are under $75,000 of annual turnover, but more than $30,000, they get the micro business grant. Now applications for that do close on the 18th of November as well. So make sure you get that. That is a lesser amount of $1,500 per fortnight, but it again tapers off and will conclude on the 30th of November. These are all aligned with the vaccination numbers that we have here in New South Wales, in particular the 80% vaccination number. Now, the New South Wales Accommodation Support Grant has just come online. Its applications close at the end of November, and that's for people who provide commercial accommodation arrangements. So if there's been vacancies of less than 11 nights, then those accommodation providers will get a $2,000 stimulus payment. If it's 11 nights or more, there's a $5,000 stimulus payment. So that's all great for those accommodation providers. Lastly, on the New South Wales grants, we also have the landlord relief package, which is to encourage landlords to come to the table and provide rental relief for those businesses that have JobSaver or eligible for JobSaver. There is a little bit of paperwork required, and it's currently capped at $3,000 per month for eligible landlords. Or alternatively, those landlords can also get land tax relief to any tenants that they provide rent relief for. So that's always something to have a discussion for those businesses with their landlords, to see if they can get some relief there. On the federal side, we had JobKeeper last year. That's all wrapped up. The federal government has probably played a bit of a lower profile this year. There is the disaster payments that are going to workers. We will see that taper off over the next few weeks as we get to the 80% vaccination. So that will wrap up over in the next couple of weeks. Of particular relevant to small businesses though, is the recovery loans, where the government are guaranteeing 50% of certain business loans. Now that's all managed and worked through with the banks. And the banks' rules will apply to that. Another thing that's happening on the federal government sphere that's been happening for a little while now is their apprenticeship grants and stimulus payments, where the government will fund 50% of an apprentice's wage. That is for new apprentices up to the 31st of March next year, so that's still ongoing, and it's a 50% subsidy for up to 12 months, capped at $7,000 per quarter. So that's a bit of a rundown of the government COVID grants. As you can see, over the next few months, both the state and federal governments are looking at sort of easing off these stimulus measures as our vaccination rates here in New South Wales increase. That's a wrap up of the COVID grants from both state and federal governments. If you have any questions from what I spoke about today or any other tax and business advice, please don't hesitate to contact one of our team at Judge Accountants. Thank you.